realized I didn't even talk about the second part of this, which was what first made you feel seen. This is super easy and this is pretty quick. A femme lesbian. A lesbian. My first girlfriend, who was a femme lesbian, is a femme lesbian. She was the first one to say, you should use butch. You are a butch. I love you because you're butch. The butchness in you is what attracted me to you. And I didn't even know what the word really meant. I didn't have any lesbian friends at the time, or not many, and especially none that used butch. Most of the women that I knew in college that dated women came out as straight and or bisexual as later. So I didn't really have, I did have some lesbian RA. I had lesbians in my life. I don't remember any of them overtly using butch. Not that they weren't or didn't or weren't masculine. I just didn't hear it in college, not really. And when I did hear it, it wasn't necessarily positive connotations. So I didn't really even think about the word until a femme lesbian, my first girlfriend, said, like, and I didn't start using it then until and all my other friends were just like, yeah, whatever. They went with it. I was at a festival and I was helping a woman who was about my age, but she had suffered a series of disabilities in her knees and some surgery, so she had gained weight. And she was struggling to kind of unload some camping gear. And my job, I was volunteering at the moment to help unload. So I got her sat down in the shade and I was unloading. It was hot. It was in the 90s. And I had I remember this because I was thinking back to myself. I was like, I'm kind of chunky. I shouldn't take off my shirt or whatever. It's hot. But I can because I'm around all women. And I had a sports bra on. But looking back at the photos, like this would have been 95. I was not chunky. Like, I mean, I had a belly, but oh my God. So I took off my shirt and I had like cargo shorts on because of course I did. And I'm unloading and I'm sweating and I'm getting on. I got our stuff unloaded and she said, hey, why don't you sit down and have some water? You look a little bit, you look hot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of worn out. So I sat in the shade and she offered me some water out of her thermos. This is back before there was really water bottles common. And she had a little thermos of cold water that was in some coolers that were nearby. And she said, you are just the cutest little butch. And I was like, that was the first time someone outside of my girlfriend had used the word butch on me without being prompted, without any. And I was like, gosh, wow. And I could not wait for my shift to be over. As soon as it was over, I ran back to my campsite and all my friends are sitting around drinking a beer, having a smoke, whatever, because it was the 90s. And they're all sitting in their lawn chairs. And I ran up, my girlfriend was sitting there and I go, guys, I think I might be a butch. I think I'm going to start using butch. And they literally were just like, yeah. And my girlfriend, she smiled and she's like, yeah, like I've been trying to tell you this. And from then on, I started trying on butch and I started to learn more about it by talking to other butches and trying to actively meet other older butches and butches my age to kind of have a conversation. And that's how I first felt seen.